Hello my friends, yes, this is Matilda and welcome again to Tilda's Cookbook. Today I'm coming with a pizza recipe for you. Who doesn't love pizza? But I'm making it with an extra healthy whole wheat crust, which is full of fibers, and I'm topping it with some fresh vegetables, black olives and dried oregano, which gives it a delicious taste. So for this recipe, let's get started. For 2 pizzas, I'm going to be using 500 grams of flour, 350 whole wheat and 150 all-purpose, 300 ml of lukewarm water, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of dry yeast, half teaspoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and 1 teaspoon of dry thyme. For my toppings, I'm going to be using a couple of peppers that I'm going to slice, 1 cup of cherry tomatoes sliced in the middle, 5 fresh mushrooms that also I'm going to slice. I'm going to be using some mozzarella cheese, 125 grams of mozzarella cheese for each pizza. I'm using quite a lot, you can use as much as you want to. About 4 to 5 tablespoons of pizza sauce, and I'm using my homemade one. You can see the recipe. 1/4 cup of pitted sliced olives and half teaspoon of dry oregano. In a bowl, I put a little bit of my water, which I've warmed up. Lukewarm it needs to be, not burning. And I pour in the sugar. Give it a little mix until it dissolves a little bit. And then I pour in my yeast and mix it again. And then I put approximately 2 to 3 tablespoons of my flour, and I prefer the all-purpose one, the white one, to mix a little bit with my yeast. And I do this part to make sure that my yeast is alive. If you are using instant yeast, you may omit this part. Then I cover my bowl and let it rest for 15 minutes. I mix my 2 flours to make sure that the white is incorporated with the whole wheat. Pour in the salt and the thyme. And mix my ingredients again to make into one whole. Then I add the remaining of my water, which I've warmed up a little bit as well, and the olive oil, and I start mixing it a little bit with a wooden spoon. Try to incorporate my flour with the liquids. It's going to be very dry at this moment, but as soon as we add the yeast mixture, it's really nice and bubbly, which means our yeast is activated. I pour it in, and I take every little bit of it with the use of a spatula because I don't want to waste it. It's needed. Then I start mixing it with my spoon, try to incorporate everything together. And this is going to be kind of hard at the beginning because the flour is really hard and the liquid is not too much. Whole wheat is always tougher to work with. But after 3 to 4 minutes of folding, actually, we get all the liquids incorporated into our flour. And we have a nice soft and sticky dough. Don't get desperate, things are gonna work out. Then I cover my bowl with a plastic wrap again And put it in a warm place and let it rest for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, or until it doubles in size. I'm using a 31 centimeter tray, and I brush a little bit of olive oil on the bottom where my dough is gonna go. And after about an hour and a half, look at the dough, it's risen nicely. I'm going to degas it. And I'm going to use a little bit of flour around the edges to make sure that it's not stuck, to be able to make it into a ball. And then I'll separate it into 2 pieces, one for each of my pizzas. I put it on my greased pan and pour a little bit of flour again. And just with the use of my fingers and palm, I'm just going to press it all around my tray, softly and evenly as possible until it reaches the edges of the tray. As soon as it's all around evenly spread, I'm just going to use my fingers and create a little rim at the edges. Just by pressing it down a little bit. And this is where all my ingredients are going to go in. Actually, this is one way of doing it, and here I'm showing you my second pizza. I used my pizza roller pin to open it up, and if you have one, you can use it. It's equally easy. It's totally up to you. Then I'm spreading my pizza sauce on top of the dough. And I'm using this delicious pizza sauce made with plum tomatoes and basil. You can give it a try. I have the recipe in one of my videos if you're interested. And then pour on top of it the mozzarella cheese. And I really like to use a lot of mozzarella, but you can use as much as you want to really. Or actually any other kind of melting cheese if you prefer to. And then I spread some mushrooms evenly around my pizza. Some cherry tomatoes that I've sliced in the middle. My peppers that I have also sliced. And again, you can put as much of each ingredient as you want to. And then I finally put a few olives on top of my pizza, which I really love, and it gives an excellent taste. And with my clean hand now, I spread some dried oregano on top. And my pizza is ready to go into the oven to bake for about 20 to 25 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 Fahrenheit.
After 20 minutes, our pizza is ready. It looks delicious. Just out of the tray. Onto my board. Sit using so delicious. Is ready. Okay, so let me give it a try, although it's still hot. Oh, look at this.
friends. It's so yummy. I hope you're gonna give it a try. It is delicious. Heavenly. Thank you for watching.
If you like this recipe, please share it with your friends. Ask them also to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button to get notified on new uploads. And I love to see you in another video. Until next time, happy baking και καλή σας όρεξη. Bye bye everyone.